Okay, so you're good.
Hi everyone, my name is Gord. I'm the founder and CEO of MLG Blockchain. We are a leading blockchain-focused boutique investment bank that is focused on making blockchains mainstream. Let's do that. So I was going to talk about my crypto story, what we do at MLG, and then some tips I have for entrepreneurs. Going to go through all this quickly. Happy to answer any questions if anyone has any. First, you heard about digital currencies in 2011. Thought the whole thing was a scam. Thought it was ridiculous. In 2013, it was described to me as the blockchain being being a stock market, and each of the tokens there being 100 tokens at the time. I thought there was only one, just Bitcoin. Essentially trading as shares. Totally wrong, but it got my interest peaked enough that I went down the rabbit hole. So I started the blockchain club at McGill after spending a year trying to find a co-founder. Grew it to be so it was one of the first collegiate blockchain communities, scaled it to be the largest, which Stu might disagree, U of T versus McGill. But definitely at the time it was the largest blockchain community in Canada. Started to help my friends, other universities, start blockchain clubs and connect the other founders of blockchain clubs like Aiden and Stu at U of T. Good team. I started Bitcoin Canada to coordinate and connect to the national collegiate crypto movement that was taking place in Canada. I was the first one in Canada to connect, or one of the first in Canada to connect the Canadian blockchain collegiate community with the American. Oh, you're here. Yes. I haven't seen you all the time. Connect the Canadian blockchain collegiate community with the American blockchain collegiate community. There was this network called the College Cryptocurrency Network. At the time, there was like 50 ridiculous university students that were passionate about blockchains. Took on a leadership role, helped to expand the network globally. Since then, the 50 crazy university students have created billions of dollars of wealth. Some of the largest businesses in the industry were created by these young champions building blockchain movements on university campuses. When I graduated, I started MLG. Thought the best way I could add value to the industry would be to help enterprises understand and adopt blockchains and build blockchains to power portions of their business. First time I was TD, thought it'd be cool to help one of the biggest banks in the world establish a blockchain practice. Turns out banks work super slowly. Had the opportunity afterwards to do global enterprise work and build software for a network of banks externally instead of internally. It's kind of cool. 2017, tokens started to become super exciting. Thought the best way to add value to the industry was to create global networks and communities for these tokens. Fundamentally believe that the largest value proposition of the blockchain industry today is the network effects being created by token communities. I think same as the internet revolution, the largest amount of wealth was centered around the social networks that were created. So I wanted to be a part of creating these global communities and creating global network effects for token communities. So we started to scale up our team and stand up specific lines of business to be able to take tokens from white paper to exchange listing, bring millions of impressions, optimize the pretty enormous ad budgets that we were deploying globally on go-to-market strategies, creating the sales funnels to bring people down to community members, having community engagement professionals that were funneling the community members to whitelists. We would take token sales live. It was awesome, super fun party. Since then, the market has shifted hugely to now we're able to tokenize securities and tokenize any piece of asset that has value. You can tokenize and put it on a blockchain. So in line with the market, we have set up a joint venture with a broker-dealer so we can legally sell securities in North America, provide compliant fundraising. Huge barrier to enter if anyone's interested in this kind of thing. Happy to chat, probably an easier way to go to market than to try to replicate it. It was super slow, really expensive, would not wish it on most people. We started to develop SaaS products that allowed us to build, to create global network effects faster with a lower cost of conversion. We got our first government projects. We expanded to New York. Now I would say we have two primary lines of business, tokenization and solutions. We've got three main brands. MLG Blockchain is the most recognized, what started the whole party. It's focused on tokenization and solutions. MLG Capital is basically our investment banking operation. focused on private placements, mergers and acquisitions, public offerings. And then LG Ventures is an angel investment arm of our business. We are actively looking to deploy capital into new young teams that we can accelerate the growth of. And yeah, that's the story in 3 minutes, hopefully. Some tips that I have as an entrepreneur, which I was supposed to share. Collaboration over competition, especially in this industry. Everything is super blue ocean. If you're trying to do everything yourself, you will lose. Every team is small. We're probably one of the larger teams that we do similar stuff to us, but we have 30 people on our team. We're in the same business as Goldman Sachs and have a big shop in every big market of the world. For us to try to do the same business as Goldman Sachs with a 30-person shop is impossible. So we partner with our closest competitors, quote-unquote competitors. They're actually our friends, our co-advisors, our co-syndicate partners, to be able to provide global distribution and local representation in any market in the world. I would say another piece of advice is waves. Expect the wave, ride the wave. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, all is fun. What else? I had a slide for this, I can't remember. Anyways, I'm going to open it up for questions. Cool.
So what was your aha moment when you went from like crypto is a scam to, oh my god, I have to start a club?
So the exchange, my friend described me, I was only familiar with Bitcoins. I found out about Bitcoins like 2011, but I thought the whole thing was a joke. And I didn't take it seriously for another 2 years. I saw the Wire article, still didn't take it seriously. But then one of my friends described to me, or like a friendly person described to me the idea that there was hundreds of digital currencies and that the blockchain they described as the stock market, and each digital currency has essentially they described to me the idea of mining, the idea of scarcity, which I was not familiar with beforehand. Super wrong, like totally wrong, but it was enough to pique my interest. I went down the rabbit hole. I was like, wow, this is totally reinventing finance and the entire world. I'm all in. I put my OSAT money into Bitcoins, lived on Bitcoins for a couple of years. Wanted to tell all my friends that would listen, or anyone that would listen, really, friend or not friend, about digital currencies. I was the ridiculous kid on campus for a long time, like in any class that I participated in, which was not a lot. I would have to talk about crypto, because why am I in class if I'm not talking about Bitcoins? And it took me like literally a year to find someone who would start a club with me. I was hesitant to start the club by myself because I'm already the ridiculous crypto kid. Now I'm starting a crypto club by myself. Sweet, like I've got a 1-person club. Yeah, but so after I did my research, I was like, wow, this is the future of the world. And I started to give out money I didn't have to grow the community around me. Kind of jokes.
So economic theory.
Huh?
So like the economic theory was the part.
What got me to do my research was the idea of the blockchain being a stock market where you can trade without needing banks and people taking fees everywhere. That was what like got me to go down the rabbit hole. And then when you're down the rabbit hole, like this is, you know, taking everyone into the global financial ecosystem. It's empowering the world. It's taking every data breach that is shitty to be not data breaches. Just about every problem in the world that I could think of was being partially solved or improved with blockchains. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna tell my friends about this.
So you have achieved a lot. I remember in a short amount of time.
Thanks, Emma.
What would be your advice to people who are looking to get started?
Start. Start now. Yes.
Start now.
Or yesterday. You can always wait. It's never the right time. I started with, I couldn't get a bus ticket because, so I put all my money into Bitcoins. I'm literally living on Bitcoins. My friends are paying for like my cabs and my food and my life. I'm selling them Bitcoins. And then I lost all the Bitcoins. And my family and friends think I'm a joke, which like I was a joke. Actually a cool, like wasn't a joke. It's like I'm not a joke and I was gonna make it work. But yeah, now like I put my OSAT into Bitcoins. I need to like pay for things. And it's like I need to pay for a bus, and like I can't pay for a bus because, so yeah, that was when I started the business. No, there's never the right time.
I feel like that has carried forward for you. Like you just now you just don't like to, you know, plan for.
Yes.
I know. When I first met him, he was like, you know, I was let into it, but it was kind of funny.
Still today.
Still today.
So like,
I cannot get him to book a hotel room. He's like, I'll figure it out when I get there. I'm like, where are you going to Singapore? I know.
And this is why.
Yes, I know I do too, Amber. So yeah, when I first joined, Amber said, whenever you're traveling and you're going to like a Bitcoin conference, always just have a room with an extra bed. You never know. I guarantee you, someone will use it. That's what I see.
Yeah, we always book like an
Always
Airbnb
book an
that has an
extra
extra room because it stops someone from like sleeping on the couch right beside you or trying to spoon you.
Yeah, totally. It's so true. So true. But you're an inspiration and legit. The only advice you have really is just start.
I mean, collaboration over competition, waves, and then there were like 3 others. But the number one advice is just start. There's never the right time. You can totally work another job and start a business on the side and just invest time into the business, and then as it starts to scale, you can focus more time on the business. I was lucky, I was living in my parents' basement, so I didn't have to get any buses. I could just live in my parents' basement.
Okay.
But that's like also not desirable. So gotta get out of your parents' basement sometime.
So are you going to expand MLG any further?
Yes.
Can you tell us to what?
To what? Like what services?
Yeah.
The next services that I would like to really focus on are supply and demand side liquidity for SCOs, like identifying identifying assets that already have value and that should be tokenized just for faster liquidity, and then the demand side bringing like family offices and big institutions to get onto the blockchain train so that we can actually like close the loop of security tokens. So that's a primary focus. Mergers and acquisitions, I think it's going to be super exciting this year as every blockchain company in the world needs to raise capital. Capital is not available on trees anymore. A great way to get stronger is to merge or acquire people. So I think that's going to be, I think specifically, actually, Chinmay and I have had a discussion about this. Mergers and acquisitions for blockchain assets. How's it going to look if a blockchain asset has a strong community in North America, another has a strong community in Asia? Both of them need to make some move. Or one has strong technology, one has a strong community. How are 2 token communities going to merge? Really exciting question in my opinion.
And then my last question for you is, did that guy in those videos I've seen in McGill, when you were talking about Bitcoin, did he know that one day he would be this successful?
That was me. That was making a rain money I didn't have. Literally, that was like a loan from the bank. So making a rain banks money. The goal was, I believe that if I created a community around McGill, around myself, and in Canada, that I was the one to champion the community. I expect $1,000, a couple $1,000 that I'm like losing or loaning the thing from the bank to give out to students will be insignificant in the grand scheme of my life. That was the idea.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Michael.